Episode 192. We waited for the weather to get better, and it's still not that great. It's acceptable, I guess. At least you can actually see things. It's altogether just very gray, though. At least you can see most of the map, which is kind of what I wanted from this view. I suppose before we actually hang out with Racefelger and find out what exactly is going on with Estinian, maybe we actually cruise around a bit on this thing, since we have it. Fill out the map while we're here. This thing that Iseo was so crazy about, which he thought was Shiva. It probably is Shiva. But I mean, I guess she's not the expert on what Shiva is and isn't. Is that rude? She's having a crisis of faith, so we probably shouldn't say that to her face. The statue stands as serene as ever, Kupo. As long as my palm remains upright, I'll let none defile these sacred grounds. This doesn't count as defiling, does it? We're just driving around. Would you look at that? It glows blue. Some more random floating islands. Altogether nondescript, I guess, although I guess you could imagine some kind of lore to these. Maybe this used to be some kind of forum where people gathered or something. I doubt the water was always here. Doesn't look like it was meant to hold water, it just seems like it happened there naturally over time with rainfall or something. This, however, does look like it was meant to be a water feature. The Lost Landlord. Are you the landlord? What does that mean? Do you get lore about these if you actually read these, or complete these sightseeing log points or whatever, and then go into your menu and see about them? I bet you probably do. I bet I'm missing out on so much lore by just not completing these, but I'm pretty stubborn about not collecting them until I feel like I want to actually go through the entire list and collect them all at once. This thing spins. I wonder what it is. We'll make a lap around the perimeter at these last few areas. Didn't really notice, but I guess it's supposed to look like a bunch of dragons that are kind of roosting or something. Or maybe that's just because of the mist. Maybe it's not supposed to, like, fool anyone. Not fool, but like... Well, I guess clearly they just did that in reverence to the dragons, but I guess from a distance it seems like it's intimidating. Like a bunch of dragons staring you down, telling you not to approach. That's probably not the reason it was constructed, based on what we know about history. It just kind of looks, with the current weather, kind of spooky. All those dragons. Just some weird corner of the map where there isn't anything. Is there even anything here? Just fill in this part of the map if there's not going to be any floating island or whatever, is what I say. Could have filled it in when we filled in the House of Letters portion. But no, they just make you fly over this to complete this part of the map. For no apparent reason. Oh, I guess there is something here. Landlord Colony. That's what this is. Weird. Why is this here? Nobody knows. It's just kind of here, isn't it? And then... something here? What is this on the map? This little square. Is it below us or above us? Must be above. What the hell is this? Why is this here? I'm not complaining, but... okay, it's for a sightseeing log thing. Alright. You had me going there. You had me thinking that this was just a weird corner of the map with nothing going on. And it kind of is. But since you put a sightseeing log here just way out of the way, I do admire you for it. I guess it's just here to let players soak in the view of the entire area. From a different angle. At least when the weather is better. We can kind of see it, but this isn't really the full effect. When does the weather change? Probably in like 5 Eorzean hours, which is however long in real time. We're not gonna wait. No, right. A floating island just right there. How funny. And then there's this thing. Absolutely no reason to go to any of these places in the main story, because they can't make you go places that requires flying, at least. Not yet, anyway. I guess they are sights to behold. They are both vantage points and sights themselves, whatever this place is. Blood dragons, and Centaurus. It's smaller than these other dragons, but apparently tougher. One of the hunt marks. The Eastern Eyes. I guess they use this place as a lookout point if they called it the Eyes. You can kind of tell, if you're looking from above, that it used to be connected to that area over here. So all these floating islands, did they used to be like one giant landmass, like a Pangea or something? Did they all used to be part of, like, this mountain? Did the mountain used to be a whole entirely? And then the top came off and then the top started fracturing apart? I don't know the lore of this game, but it's fun to imagine. And what's this? Dal Cash. Posh. I remember this place from some kind of side quests or something. Couldn't tell you what it's for though. Some kind of arena? Not for fates or anything. There's no telling what this architecture was used for, at least not by me. Ah. Yeah, let's fill them in one by one, I guess. I guess you could have reached this place by just walking. Maybe? No, wait. Maybe you'd still have to fly. Or not. From over there... that is... that one place where the Moogles are. And you'd be able to make your way over here... there. From this little bridge that connects to Zenith, you can make your way on foot. Further south and down... towards this tree. More of these glowing blue trees. And across this land bridge, to this point here. And if you tried to move forward, you wouldn't be able to continue, but you could turn left and continue snaking your way up and around all the way over here. And you could do all of that without flying, but the quest doesn't take you here, so you probably unlock flying first. This entire corner of the map, this entire northern section of the map, nobody probably ever goes here. Back in the day, when Heavensward first came out, did people hang out here? Did they go exploring around? I don't know. Probably not. Probably too busy with other things, right? Looks like an airstrip landing or something. Don't see how it might have connected to this other landmass. This road doesn't seem to go anywhere. It's pretty hard to tell. It's all upheaved pretty heavily. Western waters. We went to Eastern and now we're in Western. And there are waters. And that's it. Nothing else really going on here. No NPCs, no quests. Unless some quests take you here, I don't know. Are side quests allowed to require you to fly? Just one last area. Well, I guess there's a fate here, so it would attract some players that were maybe doing these back in the day. I think these used to be the most efficient way to level up back when. So maybe you had to come over here to do leveling, just like to these random corners of this map for this specific section of leveling, like 55 to 56 or whatever. Sawston walls. Is that like Souston? There sure are walls. This one has 4 walls. And that's it. That's the entire map of the Treading Mist, I guess. I think we're about ready to wrap up here. Well, not really. There's going to be a lot more later with some Moogles, but we'll save that for later. Now, was Ysayle actually standing here the entire time? She was. This poor girl. How long has it been? Probably not that long in terms of game, like actual lore, in-game time or whatever. But for me it's been like a week or something, and she's just kind of been sitting here, stupefied. And now she's even more stupefied with the way Stinian's wearing dragon blood on his armor. She has scarce moved since we last parted. Racevelger's confession will soon shake her from her stupor. And I guess all of the stuff that we did in the main story after Zenith, we just went back to Ishgard. If you cut out all of the side mission stuff, the machinist job quest that I did, as non-canon, all we did was talk about the mana cutters, wait for them to get repairs while adventuring back in Eorzea, or the southern part of Eorzea, to check out Nanima, which I guess doesn't take too long, and then come back to fight Nidhogg. That could have been done within a day. Pretty hefty day, but still. 'Twas you, was it not? The furious screams of the dragons carried far. You have slain Nidhogg. What more could you desire from this place? Will you not allow Racevelger to mourn the death of his kin in peace? Spare us your sanctimonious judgment, Ice Maiden. We have a gift for the Great Worm, and a mystery that can no longer lie buried. Lady Iceheart, the Dragonsong War has all but consumed your life, and claimed many of your followers. It is time you learned the truth of its beginning, the whole truth, that we may at last bring this bitter conflict to an end. Sound the horn, Warrior of Light. I'd scroll my window over to see Justinian, but it doesn't quite work like that, with this locked on to a sail camera view. Oh, I think the weather's getting better for the cutscene, thank goodness. Or just lighting? No wait, the weather gets bad again whenever Racevelger arrives, that's right. Impenitent mortals, ever seeking to bury old wrongs under new. I did sense the moment of Nidhogg's demise.
You mean the moment I prized your eye from his head?
Oh, so he knew. Twould seem thou hast uncovered my secret. I, unto the blinded Nidhogg did I yield one half of my strengths. And here it is, the Eye of Ra. No, it's the Eye of Hraesvelgr. Don't go using that to start any more wars now. Please? Where is this? Nidhogg, what has befallen thee? We are undone by covetous mortals. They did take Radatosker's eyes, and glut their appetites upon her essence. She is slain then. What madness has unmade our peaceful accord? Did I not warn thee, brood brother? They have ever been untrustworthy creatures, these short-lived Elysin. But thou wert enchanted by thy mortal maid. Thy folly has cost Ratatosker her life, and me mine eyes. O my beloved Shiva, how swiftly are thy kin made bestial by their appetites. You could actually hear when he said Hraesvelgr. I like that. Is there like an actual legitimate language to this, like J.R.R. Tolkien's Elven language or whatever it's called? I'm not an expert. Hraesvelgr, 'twas thy blindness that did invite disaster into our lands. Surrender thee an eye to me, and let that be thy penance. Nidhogg. They bested me once, but I was reckless. I shall need but a single eye to inflict enduring torment upon these traitors and every child of their line. Yield to me thy strengths, brood brother. Seriously, where is this? I think it's only for the cutscene. I'd like to see it. My vengeance is begun. Seems like a lot of work to model this area just for the cutscene. I guess it's like Hraesvelgur's home, wherever he is when he's not here talking to us. Thou hast borne witness to a scene from my past. Oh, you too?
It was yours. Your strength that sustained Nidhogg all these years.
Would that Haldreth had dealt the worm a killing blow.
When my brood brother did appear before me, bloody and blinded, his life was all but spent. He demanded half my vigor, that he might exact his revenge upon the mortals who had wronged us.
And so you acquiesced. You surrendered your eye to Nidhogg, knowing full well the suffering he would inflict.
The peace my beloved so dearly desired had been shattered by her own kin. Their treachery claimed my brood sister's life, and my brood brother's reason. Thinkest thou thy fits of indignation will move me to remorse? Go, mortals. Take your unruly passions and leave this place. Your presence here spelleth naught but misery. Were it not for Shiva's soothing embrace, I would slay you where you stand. Woe betide you, should the bond we share ever weaken. I mean, we didn't have to return your eye. No thank you? That's fine. We didn't need it. I guess not returning the eye would be an even greater, terrible bad move in the history of Ishgardian history or whatever. Just hanging on to those things spells trouble. I mean, it came in handy for Estinian, but probably don't want Hraesvelgur to start the next war or something. Or continue it, or... Well, I mean, we gave him the eyes, so... If there's like another dragon out there that needs some power to start a war against the people, maybe he'll just be able to offer up his spare eye, because now he has two again, and he can just live off of one. Hopefully not. I don't think we think that's gonna happen if we did that. And thus did betrayal beget unending vengeance. Well, that doesn't look good. Though he lifted not a single claw, it would seem that Hraesvelgur wreaked his own manner of vengeance against us. Yeah, he was complicit.
'Twas my life's goal to slay Nidhogg, but I find there is little joy to be had in its accomplishment.
You seemed pretty ecstatic about it when it was actually happening, like crazily so. But I'm glad you're showing some kind of remorse. Maybe.
But you have rid the world of a hate-filled creature, and ended a bloody war in so doing.
I lost my family to Nidhogg's flames, and 'twas with fury in my heart that I took up the lance. Every blow I struck in the name of vengeance. We were not so different, he and I.
Dragoons and dragons, an inseparable bond. Love that kind of fiction.
I will not judge you for your deeds. I have not the right. Too many innocents have perished in the name of my greater good.
Yet even with all that has passed, the tale is incomplete.
Okay, now I'm actually not following. Which part?
We are short a great worm's eye. Of the pair which Haldreth took from Nidhogg, only one is known to us, the one I bear. What then became of the other?
Oh, right, yeah, that part. Gotcha. And actually, what happened to Ratatoskir's eyes? They took those, right? Am I missing, like, what happened to those? Because they stole them for their own power or something, right? But I don't actually recall any point in the story, like, well, whatever.
Why did Nidhogg, who had taken such pains to prolong the Dragonsong War, suddenly decide to hurl his entire army against the walls of Ishgard? Lord Commander. Aye. The deed is done. Nidhogg is slain. What? In the city? A battle with whom? At once, Lord Commander. Hold firm till our return. Fighting has broken out in the city. Lord Emmerich was sparse with the particulars, but it seems some commoners threw open the gates to a force of heretics.
I gave no order to attack.
Are we to mark the end of the Dragonsong War by spilling the blood of our own? Mayhap Hraesvelgr was right about us. Let us away, warrior of light. The people must be saved from themselves.
Wait! I would join you!
Are you allowed? Like, inside the city? Well, maybe if she's with us, her parole officer, they'll let her go in.
There has been enough violence. I will appeal to my people in the city and make them see reason.
Come then, Lady Iceheart. Let us write the final chapter in this damnable war.
A small army of heretics has invaded the city, Your Eminence. But there is no cause for concern. A sizable contingent of our soldiers is already in place to repel the Dravanian assault, and the intruders will soon find themselves outnumbered and outmatched.
Our plans proceed apace, then?
Yes, Your Eminence. This unrest shall serve to feed the people's fear of the heretics and the dragons both.
And lend renewed fervor to their prayers for deliverance. Very good. Grant our guests what time they need to sow a measure of chaos, then order the Temple Knights to crush them.
Your will be done.
The moment is at hand. Excellent. All shall soon be in alignment. It is time for the Bringer of Light to die.
You mean it wasn't time any other time you tried to kill us? I guess maybe he wasn't trying that hard. Yeah. She's with us. She's on parole.
Comrades, sheathe your swords! There is no need for further bloodshed!
My lady!
She is come! Hear me, brothers and sisters! The war is ended! Nidhogg is no more! Aye, it is so! This adventurer and the Azure Dragoon laid the Great Worm low! The endless cycle of violence between man and dragon was born of our forefathers' treachery. You have followed me, bled with me, to bring this truth to light that we might all know peace. But Nidhogg is dead. Nidhogg is dead, my friends! He who bore such hatred towards Ishgard is dead! Let his hatred die with him, I say! Let us sheathe our swords and go in peace!
Have we lost?
No, my friend! Far from it! At long last, the peace for which we have so desperately fought is within our grasp, and I, for one, would not forsake it! Peace?
Seize the witch! Let none escape!
Providing aid and succor to the wounded should be our first concern. If the heretics mean to observe the peace, then it would be folly not to do the same.
And I guess this is the next day. All of the fires that we saw spreading throughout the town, they're now cleared out. Everybody rescued. Everyone Horsefont was worried about. I'm just going to assume that all happened off screen. The real reason is of course that they can't actually change this place to just fit the scene that was happening, although I guess that guy still kind of, well, he kind of fits in, doesn't he? Kind of feels like it's fresh off of that whole scene we just came from. The city in disarray. But no, that guy's just always there. Let us see how long this peace lasts. That was rather too close for comfort, but it would seem that calm is returning to the streets. Yeah, I guess time has passed. That's what we're assuming. My mind, however, yet clamors with 1,000 questions. You return to Ishgard in the oddest of company, my friend. What's that? What's that for? Just for completing, like, halfway through the story or something? I guess so. Nidhogg's Slayer. I confess, I was more than a little dismayed to see you in the company of Lady Iceheart. Whatever is going on, Komori? She's cool. I mean, not really, but kind of. Beg pardon? You traveled to the Churning Mist together, along with Istinian? Never was there a more unlikely alliance, or one so magnificently effective. Nidhogg dead. The heretics pacified. Father and Sir Aymeric must know of this. Let's break the news to them together. I will bring Sir Aymeric to Fort Holmes Manor. Yes, an excellent suggestion. Very well, Komori and I shall await you there. I guess better to have them field all their questions at once. We're not exactly the talkative sort, so we don't want to go over it more than once. Actually, even though the entire city kind of went back to normal right after that cutscene, with the heretics invading, are there at least some people talking about it? Acting like there was just a battle here? Other than this guy? You, Duravian. Anything going on here? I don't think that was specific to the battle. Might actually be no one that comments on it. How about Gondelimbod? No, he just acts like we're still new here. Even though we ended the war. Kind of. Probably best not to look too hard at it. You don't want to look at things too hardly to see where all of these themes are all the time. Sometimes it's just best to look at it from a distance. I can't help it though, this is my second time through the game, so I kind of want to catch the things that are like NPCs changing based on world events that I might not have caught the first time through. How about you? Just talking about the weather, huh? Unless we can pretend wonderful weather is a euphemism for heretic invasion, and he's fed up about it. Us too. You still have to do grocery shopping, even after the day of a huge war or something. Well, I guess it wasn't a huge war, just like a short skirmish. What is this? Durandare Manor, huh? So this is House Durandare, okay. The bell. We're kind of cool with Durandare, right? High the Norte, however you pronounce it. We're cool with Definivian. We're obviously cool with Fort Toms. Yeah, I guess even though I saw these two apart from each other, I never really thought where the other two houses were. So I guess they're over here and... yeah, Zamail's over here. Zamail's the one we're not cool with, sort of. It's complicated, I guess. This is Durandare Manor, miss. You may not enter without the leave of my lords, but if it is respite from the cold you seek, mayhap you could visit the cathedral. And then over here is just more Ishgard, right? Yeah, more Ishgard. I guess specifically more of the pillars. Their house, the Durandares, seems to be fairly similar in size to Fort Toms and Hyanarte. It's not Hyanarte, it's... how'd they pronounce it in the cutscene again? High the Norte? No A, it was like just Hearthenart, right? And this is also part of Durandare House. The main entrance to Durandare Manor is below. If you are here on official business, it would behoove you to present yourself there. Doesn't matter which door we use, we can't enter either way. Kind of interesting that it's almost physically connected to the church. Kind of is. Just a weird thing about architecture, I guess. I don't think Durandare has really anything to do with the religion specifically, not more so than anyone else. Guess they're just kind of in the same neighborhood. I'm actually a little bit vague on where the story goes from here specifically. Guess we'll find out.
Praise Halone, you are safe.
My safety was never in doubt, Father. For I had the Azure Dragoon and the Warrior of Light by my side. We bring the most wonderful tidings.
Before we get to that though, seeing all these people in this room just made a thought occur. That whole thing we did with Estinian storming Nidhogg's lair, it had those two NPCs that weren't really, well, important characters at all. I feel like if the writing was a bit different, or if they could, I don't know, change the way that the cutscene was written back in the day, they probably definitely would have had Alphinaud accompany you as a healer, and also maybe Sir Aymeric as the tank, or if you were the tank then Aymeric would become a DPS, or if you were a healer then Aymeric would tank and Alphinaud would become a DPS. That's kind of like the perfect lineup, even. And it makes me, well obviously, they didn't think that far ahead, they just wrote that cutscene where they said, Alphinaud and Sir Aymeric have to stay behind because of whatever reason. Just because they needed a way for them to stay out of the story or whatever, when you're going to storm Nidhogg's lair. But it almost feels like they definitely would have rewritten it just so that you would have someone to adventure with. These NPCs that you want the player to grow close to, do dungeons or whatever. Just a thought. I doubt they're going to make any more changes to, like, duty support or whatever than they already did. They already retroactively changed this enough, so I guess they'll just stick with the nameless NPCs plus Estinian.
The infamous Lady Iceheart, here in Ishgard? This is most unexpected.
She has done much to quell the violence. The Inquisition may not approve, but we are glad of her presence.
And with the Great Worm's demise, even our nation's more reactionary elements will have scant grounds to press for her immediate impeachment.
My thoughts exactly.
What of the truth revealed to us by Hraesvelga? That the origins of the Dragonsong War, a core tenet of Ishgardian faith, are quite unlike those depicted in the scriptures.
That men and dragons once lived together in harmony, and that it was man's treachery which shattered the peace and plunged our peoples into war.
The same scripture also describes the origins of the High Houses. Were it exposed as false, the legitimacy of our rule would be called into question.
Well, we can't have that now, can we?
If both Highborn and Lowborn can trace their ancestry to Thordan and his Knights 12.
Oh, is that where that comes from? I guess what we saw in that cutscene was that a bunch of the Knights 12 were Well, they abandoned some of them, the high houses or whatever, or they abandoned their status to live as lowborns, so I guess that means any number of these lowborn guys could have been from those people that didn't become the 4 high houses. Like the Forgotten Knight that owns the bar or whatever. I guess that guy can earn a seat on the council or whatever.
But a single sip of dragon's blood is required to confirm their lineage.
If the Holy See knew of this and chose to remain silent, their crimes are grievous indeed. Regardless, this state of affairs cannot be allowed to continue.
Sir Emmerich, you cannot mean to raise this matter with the Archbishop.
Pray consider what you are proposing. If the Holy See chose to conceal the truth for centuries, what reason would they have to reveal it now?
At best, you will be branded a heretic and clapped in irons.
Then at least the Archbishop will have shown his true colors. My friends, this war will never truly be at an end until the truth is made known.
Alright. That earns us, or earns Emmerich some respect from us. Actually trying to do something even if it's maybe foolhardy. Kind of like his style.
You must see what lies on the horizon if it is not. When ruled by fear of a common enemy, we were united. But now we have none. During the war, the highborn needed men to lead, and the lowborn men to follow. Not anymore. 'Tis but a matter of time before the old order is called into question. Lady Iceheart will share the truth with her followers, and the Holy See will be powerless to stop its spread. The disenfranchised will rise up united, and blood will flow in the streets once more. A divided Ishgard will not survive.
Tread carefully, Lord Commander.
My lady, is it wise to let him go? I sympathize with the Lord Commander's desire for reform, but to approach the Archbishop in this manner bespeaks an idealism to which I did not think Sir Emmerich prone.
Though he comports himself as a realist, he has long dreamt of reform. 'Twas that idealism which first drew me to him, that which made me swear an oath to serve. We must not think of ways to hinder his cause, but rather ways to aid it, even should the Holy See cry heresy.
You cannot mean...
If the Lord Commander does not return from the vault at the appointed hour, I mean to go and fetch him.
Have care, my lady. Your words border on treason. Should they reach the wrong ears, you will be declared an enemy of Ishgard.
I mean, let's go in that direction, why not? Let's go the treason route.
That is a risk I am willing to take. Lest you forget, my lord, I am not born of this land. My loyalty is to the Lord Commander alone. But I speak only of what may come to pass. If the rumors regarding his heritage are to be believed, we have naught to fear.
Rumors? Pray tell.
Lies and slander.
Come on, give us the gossip, the hot deeds.
Forgive me, what rumors are these?
That Sir Emmerich is the Archbishop's bastard son. Senior clergy are not permitted to marry and sire children. But even the holiest among us are not immune to temptation.
And Emerich's a pretty young-looking guy, isn't he? Compared to that ancient Archbishop, that guy must have still been pretty ancient by the time he, well, sired Emmerich, right? Yeah. Probably an old guy that likes to get pretty devious.
I labor to believe it. Sir Emmerich is truly the Archbishop's son.
He has never been publicly acknowledged as such, but the rumors have plagued him since childhood. That he rose to his current position, despite being despised as a bastard and accused of profiting from his father's influence, bespeaks the quality of his character. It is my hope that on this occasion, the burden of his birth will work in his favor. Should our worst fears be realized, the Archbishop will not be so quick to execute his own flesh and blood, affording us time to mount a rescue.
Bastard or trueborn, he is our nation's best hope. If the Holy See dares to threaten him, I shall lead the charge against the Vault myself.
Yeah, now everyone's with us. Treason route, here we go.
Hear, hear! The future of Ishgard rests on Sir Emeric's shoulders. I too will do mine utmost to aid his cause.
Komori too. We're not even a real police officer. We're just like the private help hired by these guys. We have no problem turning against the church.
Orshafon, be reasonable.
A knight lives to serve, Father. To aid those in need. The people need Sir Emeric more than ever, and we may be his only hope. There is no greater calling for a knight than to save the life of his fellow man. I swear to you, on the sigil of our house, that I shall do this and make you proud.
Treason, we love it.
Even you? Romantic, reckless fools, the lot of you. So be it. Make your preparations.
I thank you all for your support.
Alright. I think I am starting to remember where things go from here. Of all the people, you should know better. Far be it from me to criticize a man for his blind idealism, but he might at least have pretended to consider another course. Right, blind idealism. It's funny hearing that from Alphinode. Kind of on the nose. Have no fear, Father. My arm will not falter, my shield will not break. I promise you, we shall prevail. We believe in you. We believe in you. Look at us. Look at me. Stop looking at him. Look at us. That's fine. If we must risk the fortunes of our house to bring this truth to light, then so be it. But are you truly prepared to do this? To face the Heavensward in battle if you must? Oh, that's him talking to Horshfont, and then Horshfont's response is this. Right. How do you feel about treason? You're not gonna snitch on us, right? Right. That's what I thought. Full glad am I to see this. Full glad am I to see the chaos in our streets quelled. For a time we feared it might spread into the pillars. Oh, well that would be just terrible, wouldn't it? If your lofty pillars saw an ounce of trouble. How about you? We were all terrified to learn of the events below. While we ourselves had no reason to fear, many of the servants, myself included, still have family in Foundation. Okay, well, I guess I spoke a little bit too soon. Yeah, I guess these guys are servants, so yeah. They probably have more to deal with than anyone else here. Do we continue here? I think we do. Though your assistance is most welcome, I fear it will not be enough. I'm just a bit worried about launching into something pretty huge. Probably want to save that until we have more time in the next episode, but I think it'll just be a little bit more setup for now. Few as we are, we will struggle to reach the Lord Commander. If we are to succeed, we must needs recruit others to our cause. Oh yeah, I guess there would still be more. We just kind of got done with the dungeon, so there's gonna be like a bunch of quests before we hit anything major, right? I guess so. The Lord Commander has need of us, and we of him. We must act now. But how are we to carry out this bold endeavor? Even with an army of knights at our backs, a direct assault on the vault seems unlikely to succeed. You are correct, Master Alphinaud, but not even the assembled might of House Fortomps and the Temple Knights would be sufficient. With the support of another party, however, we may yet stand a chance. You speak of one of the other high houses. Precisely the opposite. I speak of the revolutionaries, rumored to reside within the Broom. 'Twas these disgruntled Ishgardians who opened the gates of our city to the heretics, I believe. But of course, if their hatred of the Holy See drove them to such deeds, they might well be persuaded to assist in Sir Americ's rescue, knowing the truth he would lay bare. Such is my hope, Master Alphinaud, and I would have you and Komoy reach out to them. As a Temple Knight and sworn servant of the Holy See, any overtures I make are doomed to fail. But as outsiders, the two of you may receive a warmer welcome. Very well. We shall seek out the leader of these revolutionaries and make our case. My thanks. Justinian, will your brothers heed your command if you order them to stand aside? The Dragoons have no love for politics, my lady. They will gladly watch and wait while the Highborn fight amongst themselves. How very wise. Komoy, we should hurry to the Forgotten Knight. Tataru may have knowledge of the revolutionaries. Have we... Okay, here we are. We've got this now. We're not going to do it right now. It seems like the wrong time in the story to just take on some side quests, but we've got this. An Aether Current for... Where is this for? What could it possibly be for? We can already fly in... I guess it would be for the Sea of Clouds? It can't be for here, I know why. And then this was... No, wait. Yeah, so this would be... Yeah, so it can't be for here and it can't be for here, so it must be for the Sea of Clouds. That's strange. We'll do this when there's like a lull in the main story, I guess. But I think there's like more to do with Moogles somewhere. Like we have to do a quest line here and then... Well, we'll figure it out. We could just teleport down, but... We're winding down. We had a big day, I guess. This is still the same day where we defeated Nidhogg and quelled the fighting here in Ishgard. Which we as a player didn't really have to do anything, but I'm sure off-screen Komoy and everyone else were running their heads off, trying to put fires out or something. Well, even though Americ's probably about to be executed for heresy or something, we still probably need to take a breather after all of that fighting and rescuing or whatever it was they were doing. Which means we'll just retire to our room for a brief nap or something. Not a full-on sleep. Americ will probably be dead by then if we wait too long, but probably just to dress our wounds or something like that. That would be a good time to take a break.